All right. Hello, everyone. It is Forlorn Scout, your favorite non-schedule keeping small-time YouTuber. And this is going to be the next episode of the MekHQ series. Now, I did say, I think in the last video I did, not the Dol Amroth video, because that one was the one I had done a long time ago and it just uploaded now. But I think in the last kind of rambling video I did, I said I was going to reshoot the audio for the next episode. And I guess technically I am, but what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to just redo the entire video. I'm going to replay the battle, and of course the audio along with it, because I was going through it, and then honestly, I was going through it. I listened through the video and I was taking notes, so I kind of knew what I could say. It's like, oh well, this was my thinking at the time, yada yada, stuff like that. Well, thing is, I was doing that, and then it just didn't. It just didn't feel right. And then on top of that, it was also I was going through, and I was like, this is going to take much longer than it would if I just sat down and just redid the whole thing. It was going to take me hours to redo it, and then redo the audio, and then splice the audio back into the video, and it's going to be easier just to reshoot it, which is where we are currently. Now, on that note, we can get into it. So, a few things. Last time, in the last episode, there was a minor engagement that we did. Just a little bit of a little skirmish, but we did capture capture some personnel, some prisoners, and on top of that we also salvaged some mechs. And if my memory is correct, I believe it was the spider and this other crab. Now, I had talked about maybe just deleting, or not deleting, but just tearing the crab down for parts. But then I thought about it and I was like, we're kind of struggling for equipment here. So why would I tear a mech that was pretty much it was pretty much pristine? Why would I tear it apart? So I haven't done that. What I've done, and I don't think it's been a while since I did this video, and I did listen through it, but I've had a lot going on recently, so I'm trying to remember what I said. But essentially, I'm keeping the crab. The spider, I don't have the parts for yet. This one is pretty messed up, but I think the parts are on the way. Let's see here. Oh yeah. So here's some parts for the spider, but they're kind of far out. So that's that. But then also, if we go to personnel and we go to mech warriors, I wonder if I can sort it by time and company. I don't think I can. But anyway, so we did capture some Krita prisoners, and now we don't have those prisoners anymore. So what I've done is I have, and I think I'm going to do this at least for the duration of the Killbourn contract, I'm going to trade, essentially I'm going to do a prisoner exchange, because exchanging a prisoner for like 10,000 C-bills is like nothing. So instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to exchange them for pilots or for techs. Basically I'm going to exchange them kind of like 1-to-1, if I can. And in the case of this, I believe I Yes, because these are, I think, the only 2 new pilots. Because anyway, sorry for the pause there. It's dealing with something. And so I got 2 new pilots. Now, you may notice, unlike, I think, pretty much all of our other pilots, which all come from the Terran Hegemony, these 2 are Ameris Empire. Now, this is a kind of callback to the kind of, where is it? To the kind of quick and dirty description I did for the unit, where it's made up of both SLDF and Ameris Empire troops. And so, because a lot of these people got captured, I figured, I'll throw in, just as a flavor thing, it doesn't affect anything. I'd throw in some Ameris Empire troops. In this case, we have gained Ernesto Arias, who's a 4-4 pilot. And then we also gained Sophia Rhyme, I think that's how you pronounce the last name. And she's a standard kind of 4 or 5 pilot. But both of them are Ameris Empire. And I think that's the only people we have added. Yeah, because they're, they don't have any time in company. I just want to check if I can sort it like that. Yes, so those are the only people. Yeah, those are the only people who. Those are the only ones who I've added. So, but yeah, so those 2 new mech warriors, because we got 2 new mechs that need pilots. Now the Spider is not available, obviously, because it's basically a torso with some legs on it. So that's not much use, but the rest of the company is good to go. I repaired the other crab, put Ernesto in it, and then I've shuffled some things around. So Sophia is in the Shadowhawk, which normally would have Sam Bowman in it, I believe. And the reason I've done this is because Sam here, if I go back to Mech Warriors, he has a little bit of fatigue. Now, I think some of our other pilots also have fatigue. Yeah, there's a few pilots that also have fatigue, but I just figured Sam should probably just sit out. Throw in someone who doesn't have any fatigue because they just got hired. Well, actually, she has 1 fatigue now because I had to search around a little bit on the map for another mission. But I'll get into this. So the kind of drop for the next mission will be Alpha Lance, which is now a kind of an overstrength lance now because it has a 5th mech in it. I've kind of concentrated all the heavier mechs, quote unquote heavier mechs, into this lance, and then this Beta Lance, of course, is our kind of recon lance, so they have the faster units. But without further ado, I think I will go to the next mission here. We have a orbital defense hostile capture mission now, which is happening today. It's happening right now, right after this. And we have essentially the mission here is, and I'll just read it. We have a hidden enemy-controlled facility that has been identified for destruction. This installation is too valuable to remain in enemy hands, and its defenders must be eliminated to ensure it is no longer operational. Our mission, if we choose to accept it, is to destroy at least 75% of the defending forces. This is not an occupation, this is a eradication. The priority is destruction, not capture. Do not concern yourself with securing the facility. The enemy will fight to protect this installation, but their defenses will crumble under sustained pressure. Crush their forces, level their defenses, and ensure that when this battle is over, the facility is of no use to anyone. The victor will control the battlefield, and yada yada yada. So our objectives are this, this is one thing. So the facility will be destroyed if 75% of the turrets are destroyed. It's a data center. A detail of enemy scout mechs has been spotted in the area. A detail of enemy scout mechs has been spotted in the area. So I think that's, yeah. So it's these two here, which I'll go over here in a second. Overwhelming enemy ground reinforcements have been detected approaching the area. I think this is, yeah, this one here. And so this is where because I read that description in the first mission, and what I did essentially is I leveled the base. But as I'll read through just the objectives here, the actual objectives, you may note that it's not actually the case with this one. So our actual objective is the facility must be captured, which is a little different than what the mission kind of says. 75% of the designated buildings must remain intact. We have to destroy 75% of the enemy forces, which is fine. We have to destroy or cripple 75% of the following units. So these are base defenses, which again I will go over. And then we can leave intact the base defenses, or cripple them. And then if we again destroy 75% of the Karita forces, it will be considered a victory. If I can I do it? No. Okay, I'll just do it like this. So to go over what the enemy has here. So the base defenses to start off with. So they have 3 turrets. They have a heavy missile turret, a light missile turret, and a medium command turret. Basically, they're just what they sound like. They're going to be launching missiles at us for the whole game, essentially. Now, the main enemy force opposing us initially is going to be a Rifleman 3N, which is a heavy mech, but it's not a very threatening one. It has far too many weapons for the amount of heat sinks it has, and also it has paper for armor. A Stinger, just a very standard light mech. Phoenix Hawk 1, a very good medium mech. Maximum hover, heavy hover transport, which is a good hover transport, but and I think it's probably carrying one of these infantry platoons. This von Luckner heavy tank is a threat. This is actually probably the most threatening thing in this section of the enemy forces. Then they have a Goblin medium tank and another Stinger and some infantry. This is actually, I mean, one of the big things is in the last few missions that we've done in this campaign, the Draconis Combine has both outnumbered us and really outgunned us. They've had a lot of heavy units and they're very strong. This is not really the case with this mission. We're still outnumbered, but what is actually opposing us is not actually that strong. There's a Spider and a Panther. Panther's pretty good, but it has a green pilot in it. And then there's an Scout, which isn't really that threatening. It's a light mech, but it only has a single medium laser. Then there's another Spider with a green pilot in it. And then the last reinforcement wave is an APC, a Wasp, another light mech, not that threatening. LRM carrier, which is kind of threatening, and then another Wasp, again with a green pilot in it. A Goblin medium tank with a green pilot in it, and then some more infantry. So the thing is this is a very... They still outnumber us, of course. But this is a very non-threatening composition. I mean, the mechs are threatening and the tanks are kind of threatening, but this is, if things go well, this will be a great mission. So anyway, without further ado, I will get this started. Just do a small cut here, and then I will be back once it's all loaded in. All right, so we are back. We have I have loaded into the mission here, and this is the map we are dealing with. So this is the kind of base, I guess. And just kind of situated in the center of the map here, and we are deploying from the kind of left side of the map. Now, it would appear as though really the only thing on the field currently is the turrets. So I'm trying to think of what would be a good way to approach this. I'm thinking I'll approach from the south here, away from the heavy missile turret. And I guess I'll start right here. It's as good a place of as good a place as any, I should say. Deploy all of our mechs here. Oh, there's a stinger over here. So let's see here. I think I will. Yeah. Okay, there's the Phoenix Hawk. The Rifleman is on the other side. Okay, basically everything else is on that side. So we'll see how well the AI is able to maneuver through the city. But I'll just move the mechs up here into firing positions. Let's arrange this. Okay, he can't see that turret. Can he see the heavy missile turret? No. Okay. It would appear we are not visible. At least this mech is not visible to the base turrets, which is good. So there's the Phoenix Hawk, but I don't plan on firing at that until it gets a little closer. First thing, I suppose, will be this stinger. So I'll fire the PPC, and I will fire... Yeah, I'll fire the 2 large pulse lasers, and I think I'll leave it at that. Do high to low here, same thing. Alright. This is good, we're not visible to the turrets. Since we're close, I'm not going to fire the LRM. I mean, there's not really much point. I'll fire the large laser and all the medium lasers, I think, and then I'll leave it like that. Apparently they might be firing indirect because they have, I think they have LRMs. No, that has an autocannon 10. So I'm not sure why that is able to fire, because that doesn't make much sense. Because I can't fire at it, but it can fire at me. Yeah, interesting. So I will fire the autocannon 5, the medium laser. I think that was it the medium laser? Yeah. And then I guess not the SRM off the Shadowhawk. I'm just going to concentrate fire on this stinger. Because we have to kill 75% of the enemy. fire both large lasers on, I think, both grabs. Just fire everything. The to hit numbers aren't amazing. Oh, apparently we blew the right leg off, so yeah, this mech is toast. Yeah, no gyro. I don't think he has, like, I'll look at it here in a second. Oh, he ejected. Never mind. He must have tried to get back up and then just failed. So there's one mech down, which I will happily take. I will turn like that. What to do? What to do? I think I'll move like so. Get the Thunderbolt kind of in the cover. I think move Candace in her crab up that way, and then I'll move Ernesto down this way in his crab. Yeah, and he tried to get up and failed. So interestingly, we can't see that. Ooh. Phoenix Hawk stood still, so I will fire the PPC at it, and that's going to be the only thing off that, which is unfortunate. But it is what it is, I suppose. And can we hit anything? Oh, there's a storm. Yes, that's right. I think I forgot to mention since there is a storm, I noticed this. Weather works a little weird in MegaMech. I think all the infantry deployed and then was instantly killed by the storm because the winds are too strong. But I'll look next time there's a round report. I'll look at it. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. So interestingly, we can't. We can see that, but we can't fire at it, which is an interesting thing. Let's see here, can I fire? That's indirect. Okay. Alright, I'm just gonna, I think, skip fire with the Thunderbolt. I don't know, again, I'm not sure why I can't see that. But apparently we're having trouble seeing, oh, it's the storm, it's messing with the missiles, that's what it is. Because again, I mean, it's kind of a similar thing. The high winds are affecting missile tracking and lock. Can you see? Apparently not. It's not a lot of firing. Oh, but our PPC hit. That's pretty good. Oh, I forgot to check the round report. Whatever. So, physical attack? Oh, because the pilot, I'm not going to punch the downed pilot. Apparently the infantry has, oh, no, never mind, there it is. Yeah, destroyed cannot survive in the storm and was destroyed. Okay. And then the pilot died, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, so we don't want anyone ejecting, although they have now deployed behind us. So I'm going to move the Black Knight like so. I'm gonna move. I'm gonna move the Thunderbolt right there. Move the Shadowhawk back. I'm gonna try and deal with these couple mechs that have deployed behind us real quick. Unless, of course, they move into a position in which we can't see them. Guess I'll twist and fire the PPC over there. And I might as well fire with the large laser at the Maxim hover tank. I don't think he's going to be able to hit anything, unfortunately, because of how heavy the forest cover is here. So that's unfortunate. Did not think of that. Luckily, the only thing that hit was this LRM-5. But I think our reinforcements should be deploying this turn. And they are deploying on this side. I think I'm going to deploy them down here. Move the mini-map over this way, move this right here. I'm going to back the knight up into this little protective sandbag, whatever it is. I think similarly I'm going to back the knight up, or back the Thunderbolt up like so. Move Mongoose like that. I'm going to run the Shadowhawk like so it can kind of maybe kick the spider. I think same thing here with Candace. I think I'm going to move her in and just try and kick these light mechs. Maybe not turning like so. I think I'll do that instead. Okay, the Stinger fell over. Alright, so it is our main man, James Kincaid's had to, our main man forgets his name instantly. And we are going to be trying to deal with these light mechs here. Phoenix Hawk is moving up, but, or so is everything else actually. So we need to deal with these guys real quick. I think we're going to fire at the, I'm going to fire at the Scout. I'll lay off the PPC, but I'm going to fire with everything else. I don't think anything is going to be able to hit. Oh, actually, this one medium laser, because it has an accuracy quirk, might be able to. Just plink at them with the medium lasers, I guess. We still can't see that, which I'm shocked about. So I guess the Thunderbolt is twisting this way. And even though there's a bunch of accuracy debuffs, I will fire at that mech with the LRMs. And a couple lasers. Let's see here. This is the Mercury. Which I'll fire at the medium lasers at the Spider. Let's see here. Yeah, that's not gonna... No chance of that hitting, but we'll fire with the medium laser and the SRM. Let's see here, what are the hit chances? Well, you can see that. I'll just single shot the UAC 5 towards the Spider. Again, I'm trying to concentrate fire to make sure stuff gets killed. And with Candace here, is this Candace? Or is this Ernesto? This is Candace. So I'll Alpha Strike with Candace, and I'll probably do something similar with Ernesto. But he's going to fire at the Scout. Although he can't fire his medium laser, so that's not that big of a deal. Oh, well, never mind. Really laid the fire into the Scout for no reason. He took a large pulse laser to the head and died instantly. Let's see here. Anything else important? Looks like we're getting plinked at by those turrets. Did we hit the Spider with anything? That missed the Spider. That missed the Spider. That also missed the Spider. That also missed the Spider. I think we missed with everything. Oh no, we got a medium laser. Yeah, so all the stuff hit the mech that died instantly. Of course it did, but we can now try to kick the Spider here. Not going to kick the bridge. Let's see here. Yeah, so we double kicked the Spider, and of course it fell over, which is good. And we have even more stuff coming in from the west here that's going to deploy here in a couple rounds, so we might actually sit back and just kind of wait for them. I'm going to turn the Black Knight this way to face the oncoming forces. Going to move the Mongoose this way. I think I'll have the light mechs run over and deal with the prone Spider. I'm going to skip movement on the Thunderbolts. Move the not the Mongoose, the Mercury, like so. Oh, not jumping because low gravity. And I will turn the Sentinel like that, put him in the cover. move the crab back up. Move the other crab back up as well. Of course, they're all falling over. So what to fire at with the Black Knight? I think the thing to fire at, because this infantry is going to die instantly, so we're just going to fire at the Maxim hover transport, the ERPPC into 2 large pulses. The mongoose here, we're going to fire at the prone spider. Same thing with the locust. With the thunderbolt here, I think we're going to lay off the large laser, but I am going to fire the medium lasers, the SRM, at the transport. Let's see here. Mercury. Same thing, we're just going to lay into the spider. I'm not going to fire the LRM, but I'll fire the autocannon and the medium laser. With the Sentinel here, I am going to turn the autocannon onto ultra mode, which of course double taps the autocannon, so I will fire at the turret there. I'm not exactly understanding how they can see us, but we can't see them. But oh well. So this crab here is a little warm, a little toasty. So I'll lay off the other large laser and just 1 medium, 1 large. Thinking same thing with this guy here. Yeah, 1 large, 1 medium. And then I think that's it for the firing. It is. Alright, so the spider fired at the Black Knight. It missed. We fired at the hover transport, only hit with 1 large pulse laser, which is unfortunate. Crit the spider's engine. Of course, we're just tearing up the spider. I mean, it's prone on the ground and just have a bunch of mechs just firing everything at it. Let's see here. Anything? The ultra autocannon missed the building. I don't know how you miss a building, but I guess it happens. And then we missed a bunch of stuff at the transport, which is lots of fun. And now I guess we'll just kick the spider, call it a day. Took its leg off, and I think an arm that was. And see, the foot platoon instantly died. So the weather is taking care of a bunch of Kurita forces for us, but we still have a long way to go. Oop. Hold on. Alright, sorry about that. I had forgotten I hadn't plugged my laptop in, so it is plugged in now. Hopefully the audio still sounds fine. Again, the audio thing, I fixed it as a driver side issue, but I still think I'm getting some interference from my laptop power cord, so I need to probably replace that at some point. But hopefully the audio should sound fine. It just might sound slightly different now that the laptop is plugged in. Anyway, so what to do here? I'm just going to have the Black Knight stand still. I think I'll have the Mongoose run up like so. I'm going to have the Locust take care of the Spider, assuming it decides to not try and like eject or anything like that. I'm going to have the Thunderbolt stand still as well. That is the Mercury. I'll have the Mercury move up like that. What is next? The Shadowhawk. Move them up like so. Not really the best place for the Shadowhawk. I think I talked about maybe trying to keep most of the mech stock, and I think for the first contract I will, but after that I'm going to, there are some loadouts would like to adjust. So we'll move Gustav up like so. Move the crabs up. Although they're going to be deploying from the west here again. So I'll keep Ernesto back. The Black Knight. What to have him fire at? Well, it's in short range with the large pulse lasers, so I mean, how can I say no to that? I'll fire 3 of the medium lasers as well. Hit chances are better here. I'll fire the Mongoose at the as well. The mighty very very thrilling commentary here, I know. Expert, you could say. I guess the Thunderbolt is also going to be firing at the Maxim hover transport. I think the Mercury is going to fire the medium lasers there, and then we'll fire the small lasers at the transport. This is the Shadowhawk, which shockingly can't see the Phoenix Hawk. So I guess he'll fire at the his autocannon, his LRM at the rifleman as well. Let's see here. So he can fire at the building again. I think I'm just going to have him plink away at the building. So let's see here. What do we got for targets? I'm going to twist. That Phoenix Hawk is much more of a threat, so I'm going to fire both large lasers at it. I think same thing with this crab. Yeah, both large lasers at the Phoenix Hawk. Oh, and we blew up, of course, I fire a ton of stuff at it, and Black Knight blows it up solo. Let's see here. Alright, so Locust killed the Spider. Let's see here. Left leg on that. On the Phoenix Hawk, I mean. Oh, we actually crit the leg, and it fell over. Oh, perfect. We're grinding them down slowly. Actually, this is a better team too. We've killed about 25% of the enemy at this point. But we still have about a 50% to go. So I think the thing to do here, I'll move the Black Knight up. I'll shuffle it forward a little bit. I'll move Jefferson and his Mongoose up that away. I'll move Locust like that so he can get some TMM up. Can he turn? No, can I back up like that? Yeah, I think I'll back the Thunderbolt up and have it start firing at this building. I think I'll move the Mercury up like so. What to do with the Shadowhawk? I think I'll move the Shadowhawk to there. Something I am curious I just thought of is where the Von Luckner is right there, so it's not that much of a threat at this point in time. I think I'll move the Sentinel that way. I think I'll have the Sentinel and the Thunderbolt start dealing with the buildings. Move Candace and her crab up this way, and then I'll move Ernesto right alongside her. I think the Phoenix Hawk is still prone. Oh no, it's standing now, but what to do. So I'm thinking the Mercury and the Mongoose are probably going to fire at the Phoenix Hawk. So I think I'm going to have the Black Knight fire at the Rifleman, and I know I'm getting a little hot there, but that's fine. I can lay off some weapons next turn. And I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to lay off one of the medium lasers, but I would like to have one of the medium lasers be the one that has the accuracy quirk. Alright, so medium laser on this. See our options here. Okay, so it's going to be best to fire at the Rifleman with the Locust. And I suppose I will, like I said, start firing at the building. Trying not to build up too much heat. And the Mercury is also going to lay into the Phoenix Hawk, because it is, it's the more threatening mech out of the two that are there. Too close for the LRM-5, but the other stuff can be fired. Yeah, Ultra Autocannon Streak. Alright, so this is the first crab. I'm going to fire. They're a little hot, which is unfortunate. So I'll fire a large laser and medium laser. And then I'll fire both large lasers on Ernesto's crab here. In fact, I'll fire the medium laser as well. Alright, let's see here. Alright, so we hit with the Black Knight hit with everything at the Rifleman, which is good. Rifleman hit us back a little bit. The buildings are very chunky. let's see here. The main thing I'm curious about is if we kill the Phoenix Hawk. Blew off its right arm. It falls. Oh, and the pilot blacks out. Perfect. Alright, so that mech is effectively immobilized. But now it's going to be round 8, and I assume Krita is going to spawn behind us. They sure did. I knew it was coming. But it's just a couple wasps. Although the LRM carrier is pretty scary, not gonna lie. Can I? Entering rubble. Okay, interesting. I don't know why the Shadowhawk could do it, but I couldn't. I guess I should be able to walk over this building here. I guess I'll see. Yeah, it looks like I was able to. Guess I'll move the Locust like so. And I guess actually Thunderbolt is going to move in to engage. Actually, I'm going to have the Mercury. I'm going to do a little bit of a shuffle trick, I think. Ooh, maybe not. I guess I'm going to turn the crabs around. Okay. Unfortunate. So I don't think I want to put him on top of the building. Move him like that, I think. And I'll move the Sentinel back over like so we can deal with the guys in our rear here. Alright, so interesting, we can't see that stuff. However, the Wasp has entered large pulse laser range, which is a unfortunate place to be. Fire 2 large pulses, 2 medium lasers. And Mongoose here, I think, is going to do a similar thing where I fire 2 medium lasers and the small laser at the rifleman. And the Locust is going to fire at the LRM carrier. Too close for long-range missiles, so Thunderbolt is going to fire all of its lasers at the Wasp. I think unfortunately I mispositioned the I mispositioned the Mercury. But the Shadowhawk can fire at the Phoenix Hawk, I suppose. And the Sentinel here, I guess, will just lay into the, wait, don't want to waste firing. Guess he can just fire the ultra autocannon. That's all he can do. Okay, so first grab is gonna fire everything it can. I know that's getting hot, but I want that LRM carrier dead. This crab, I think, is just going to fire a large laser and a medium laser at the wasp there. That turret actually hit us with that autocannon, which is unfortunate, and of course it misses. Now it misses everything at that wasp. Ooh, that is not good. That mongoose is kind of messed up, so we may have to pull him off the battlefield. Although it looks like maybe he might be immobile. Ugh. We immobilized the LRM carrier, which is good. Yeah, so he took another pilot hit. Okay, so we destroyed the LRM carrier. Apparently the Shadowhawk falls. I don't know what from. What did he get hit by? Oh, the LRM carrier fired at him. Unfortunate. I guess the Locust will kick the Goblin medium tank. Alright, so my thinking is this. I'm going to turn the Black Knight around. And he's knocked out, which is a problem, because that might mean... that is not good. Yeah, he can't eject or anything, so he is just immobile. He's probably, at least the mech is probably not long for the world, unfortunately. Guess I'll move the Mercury there. He needs an 8 to stand, or Sophia needs an 8 to stand up. I think she rolled it, which is good. Guess I'll move the Sentinel like that. Guess I'll move the crab up. Move the other crab like so. Oh, okay, Phoenix Hawk, the pilot fell over again and died, which is perfect. I will take it. Okay, let's... Oh. Okay, so he can't see that. And of course the tower... Actually, the tower can see him. He can't see the tower. I don't know why. So... I guess I'll fire the PPC at that spider. Call it a day. He's knocked out, so he can't even fire. Let's see here. I guess he'll fire at the Wasp with everything. The Locust, I mean. Thunderbolt. Yeah, he's going to fire at this wasp as well. Not fire one of the medium lasers. Well, his target has kind of disappeared. The Mercury's, I mean. So he's not going to fire at anything, I guess. And I guess I'll fire at this turret over here with a couple things off the Shadowhawk. I guess the Sentinel here is also going to fire at that one wasp. The crab here is going to fire one large laser. You kind of have to do this with the crab because it has the crab 27 because it has single heat sinks, so you have to kind of lay off one large laser and then use the other things if you are in range. So let's see here. I'll fire that. Guess you're just going to fire with everything into this one wasp. Blew its torso off. Oh wow, he actually hit with the double tap, it looks like. Hold on one second. Alright, I am back. Sorry, I had something on my phone I had to deal with. So yeah, the Sentinel actually hit the crab. And just completely destroyed it, corded right out with the ultra autocannon. It looks like it got more than that. That whole mech is toast. Pretty toast, which is I'm fine with. Could kick the pilot, but there's no point in that. Alright, so Jefferson is awake again, and the pilot dies. This is one of the reasons I don't really want to, eject the mongoose, because that would be a problem. Is there any place I can move to with the Black Knight and be able to see? I don't think there is. Unless I move right there, looks like. Torso twist. Alright, so can you get up? I just want to see. He needs a 10. I'm going to try it. Oh, he fell over. Oh, and he blacks out again. Okay, unfortunate. Well, I figured I'd try it. Let's see here. How can I maneuver here? Turning on pavement. Okay. Okay, apparently not. Needs a 9. Oh, this is a real bad spot to be in. I think I'm just gonna have to run the Mercury back like this and then turn him around. He needs an 8. That stupid storm. I don't know why I'm saying he. It's because Sam Bowman is usually in it. Can I jump? Is that any better? It's not. Guess I'll move like that on top of the building. I don't think that actually helped anything. Move it up like that, the sentinel I mean. I'll move crab onto the side of the goblin. Guess I'll move him up. Yep, that's the mongoose blacking out. Alright, so I'm going to fire at the rifleman with the Black Knight, of course, and Jefferson, of course, is knocked out because he couldn't stand up because of the storm and his bad gyro. Thunderbolt can't see anything. Mercury can actually see the goblin, so he may as well fire at it. Like twist. You may as well. Let's see here. Twist. Luckily, the rifleman is deciding to shoot at the Black Knight instead of shooting at the downed mongoose, which is not a behavior from the AI I would expect, but I mean, I'll take it. Ooh, he is, or this is Candace, I think, is real toasty, so need to lay off the large lasers for a turn. I'm gonna have to just fire one large. We crit a medium laser on the rifleman, but otherwise didn't hit it. Let's see here. Did a motive hit on the goblin. Shadowhawk has taken internal damage to its left leg, which is unfortunate. Wasp took a large laser to the CT and blew up. Love to see it. Who is kicking what here? No, I don't want you to kick the bridge. I don't know why it keeps asking for that. But Candace here will kick the goblin, and it's destroyed. Alright, so let's see what we are dealing with here. So we have 2 mechs with some moderate damage, 1 crippled, of course, that being the mongoose. The enemy team is below half, blah 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 blah. Sorry, I got tongue-tied there by saying the enemy is below half strength if I can speak English. So we just need to go a little bit more. I think a few more mechs get destroyed and then we'll be good. So all the Kurita reinforcements from this side have been destroyed. We need to destroy the rifleman, the stinger, the spider. Hopefully that's everything, although there's still this panther over here. So I'll move the Black Knight up like so. He is still knocked out. I'll start moving everything from over here over to this side. I think I'm actually just going to ignore the turrets. Okay. I guess the Mercury is just going to move like that because pavement. Turning on pavement, of course. I guess I'll move the Shadowhawk into the little nook there. Sentinel like so. Move the crab up. Move the other crab up. Or turn it around, really. So, what to do here? I think I'm going to have to lay off the PPC, and then I'll fire at it with the large pulses and the 4 medium lasers. That medium laser is not good. Yeah, that doesn't have range. I could tell instantly. That's too much. I'm at 12 to hit, may as well take the shot. That's out of range. Shadowhawk, I guess, is going to twist. I mean, may as well fire at it. It's a 12 to hit. It's unlikely, but I mean, if it hits, it does damage, and that's what's important. Gustav here, the man who double hit on the CT of a wasp and killed it. He's going to fire at the rifleman. Let's see here. Candace and her crab is going to fire both large lasers at the rifleman. Try and kill that thing, because I mean, that is just, it is the most threatening mech on the field currently. I don't think we hit with much of anything. It doesn't look like. Yeah, it looks like we fired at pretty much everything and missed. So Jeff is back up. Move the Black Knight up. I'm just going to skip movement on Jeff there. I will move the Locust up to engage the Spider. Move the Thunderbolt up like so. Move the Mercury up also to engage the Spider, hopefully, although it looks like he's moved out of range. I'm going to move the Shadowhawk into kicking distance. Oh, the Sentinel. I'm going to keep the Sentinel right there. Move Candace and her crab right there. Try to get Ernesto up into the fight. Alright, so we are in much closer range. I am going to lay off 1 medium laser, but otherwise fire the 2 pulses and the 1 large. Alright, so he can't fire with anything, which is fine. Those machine guns are not in range. I'm going to fire the Locust at the Spider just to try and get that thing off the field. And I'm going to have the Thunderbolt here actually fire at that Stinger that's still running around that I honestly kind of forgot about. Mercury is also going to take 2 pot shots at the Spider. but I think the Shadowhawk's gonna just fire everything at the rifleman. Same thing, Gustav's is gonna just fire the streak and the ultra autocannon at the rifleman. Candace is gonna fire both large lasers at the rifleman. Ernesto here is going to fire his 2 large lasers at that stinger. Alright, so let's see here. We hit it a bunch, which is good. Looks like we probably missed all the stuff at the stinger there. Oh no, the autocannon jammed. Unfortunate. If you don't know, currently in the rules, although it might change, ultra autocannons, if you roll a 2, so if you roll Snake Eyes, while you're double tapping, the autocannon jams and you can't unjam it, which is amazing. I love that. I love that rule. It's actually one of the few rules from the playtest that I actually am in favor of. Actually, I think I didn't. Oh, actually, no, this is the melee phase. I was going to say, I was like, wait a minute, I didn't kick anything. Okay, it looks like the rifleman and the Shadowhawk kicked each other and knocked each other over. Awesome. You'll love to see it. I guess Black Knight is just going to stand still. No point in having him move up. I'll move the Locust like so. I'm going to back the Thunderbolt up. Move the Mercury like that. Oh, that's going to need a 9. I'm just going to skip movement. I don't want to risk like blowing up the gyro on that mech or anything. Gustav's is going to have to move in because the autocannon is jammed, so he's not really a long-range mech anymore. Candace is also going to move in. I think Ernesto is going to move like so he can get a line of sight on that. On the stinger, I mean. And Black Knight, I think, is just going to keep firing at the rifleman. May as well just keep firing until it is dead and no longer a problem. Locust here is going to fire at the spider. Thunderbolt. I guess Thunderbolt is going to take a pot shot at that spider with the LRM and the large laser. Mercury is going to fire everything at the spider. Shadowhawk can't see anything because of how it fell. I'll have Gustav's try and shoot the streak at that rifleman. I'll have Candace here fire also at the rifleman. Ernesto here, you are going to have to twist, and then Fire both large lasers at that stinger. Okay, so we blew off its left arm, the rifleman. Let's see here, anything else other than just plinking at each other? Oh, the spider fell over. Not going to kick the building. They're down to 40%, but this is kind of where the battle kind of bogged down before, is having to fight through the town, and then the few enemy units that are left that are kind of just hiding in the buildings. Just skip movement. I guess the Locust is going to move up into kicking range. I'll move the Thunderbolt like so. Mercury can stand still, actually. Is it still... Yeah, it's that stupid storm, man. Unfortunate. Can he turn? Okay, I'm going to turn... Kind of roll the Shadowhawk over. Move Ernesto up a little bit. Can Candace... Okay, so if I move Candace and her crab right there, she can see that stinger. And then... how far can you back up? Okay, so he's going to back up like so. Spider was trying to stand up and did a bunch of damage to itself, which I'm perfectly fine with. I'm still not going to fire the PPC. I'm going to fire the medium pulse lasers, though. Or not the medium pulse lasers. The large pulses. And then the medium lasers again. All of them, again. Just keep firing at it. It hopefully will die. Ooh, that Panther can see the Locust. Unfortunate. Hopefully it doesn't hit. What to shoot with this? Guess I'll fire at the spider. The lasers and such. Shadowhawk can fire the everything but the LRM at the rifleman. Sorry, that was a ping on my phone. Nothing to worry about. Guess I'll fire the streaks at that stinger. Both large lasers, and I'll fire the medium laser at that stinger. And for Ernesto, I think just because he can see, I guess I'm just going to fire both large lasers at that thing. I don't like what I saw here. Alright, so we blew off the other arm. The stinger fired the medium laser at the Mercury and blew off its leg, unfortunately. Let's see here. Okay, we critical hit the right leg with the crab on that stinger. The stinger got an internal hit and the Sentinel blew up. That is not great. Rifleman blew up though, so I guess there's a plus. This is not going as well as it went last time. I'm gonna be completely honest here. Okay, so we kicked off its other leg, so that stinger isn't going anywhere. Okay, well, Gustav's was destroyed by the storm, but I'm not gonna. I'll probably GM that and just because that was a ridiculous shot from that stinger. I guess I'll move the Black Knight like so. I'll turn the mongoose this way because may as well try and fire at it. Okay, Gregory is fine right there where he is. Trying to get line of sight on this stinger, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. Just going to skip movement on the Mercury. Guess I'll turn the Shadowhawk that way on the off chance that I could fire at it. Of course, the wheeled APC starts moving up. Line of sight is not ideal here. It's a heavy building, but I don't want to move there in case. So I'll just skip movement with that. I'll keep moving Ernesto. All right, so the Black Knight can't fire at anything. Unfortunate. Mongoose can't fire at anything. And of course the Panther can see the Locust that stood still, so I'm going to use his last moments to just fire everything at that spider. And I'll fire the LRM and the large laser at the spider with that as well. Guess the Mercury is also going to just fire everything that it can at the spider, the down spider. I should have twisted this way, unfortunately, but is what it is. I guess, yeah, just fire both large lasers at that spider. Of course, he's just out of range. Guess I'll fire one large laser there. Wow, he did that Locust did a number on that spider. Oh my gosh, and the Panther missed. Perfect. Thunderbolt got the kill though. And now it blew off the right arm on the Mercury. This is not ideal. Alright, so what are we sitting at here? Okay, so they're at 29% of their BV. they're almost defeated, you could say. But we've started to take some losses here. So I'm going to move the Black Knight like so in case maybe the Panther tries to move up. Skip movement for that. Back the Locust up out of direct harm's way. I'm going to turn the Shadowhawk that way. Alright, so Panther has moved in to the fun zone. So, and apparently the heavy-wheeled APC was driving, it looks like it went careening into a building. Awesome. It was driving like a madman and just crashed into a building. Pavement is fun. So I'm going to fire everything but the PPC at that Panther. Mongoose can't see anything. Locust. I'm going to fire... Okay, that's just the Goblin. Locust is going to fire the medium laser at the Panther. For the T-Bolt here, I think I'm going to have it fire at the couple lasers at that heavy-wheeled APC to try and kill that. Oh, both arms are destroyed, so that is not an option, apparently. Let's see here, what can the prone Shadowhawk do? Doesn't look like much, apparently. But it can fire the SRM and the medium laser at that heavy-wheeled APC. The Crab here, I'm just going to Alpha Strike the Crab at that Panther, try and kill it. And 2 large lasers at that. Something went prone again. So a bunch of stuff hit the Panther, which is good. Thunderbolt missed the APC, or the APC. Of course, PPC hit the Black Knight. Why wouldn't it? Oh, of course, critical hit on the Black Knight, because the towers can just see us without us being able to see them. Makes total sense to me. But we're almost there. Get to 25% left and it should be fine. Okay, can you get up? Only needs a 7. So I'm gonna try it. Nope. Okay, he was able to do it. Turn. No, I'm not going to do anything with the Mongoose. Gregory Schmidt here is not going to move up like so. He's going to just shuffle forward. Thunderbolt is going to stand still. That just has to sit there. That just has to sit there. Candace is going to stand still to get better firing. Ernesto's going to move up. Fortunately, we may be out of commission for a little while because of this mission. So, what to fire at? Not going to be firing the LRM, that's for sure. I guess fire at the APC. That can't move. That can no longer fire at the APC because it's like driving over it. Crab is just going to fire both large. Actually, no, that's way too hot. One large laser and then everything else at the Panther. Ernesto is going to fire both large laser and the medium laser at the Panther. Okay, we blew off its left torso, which is not where the PPC is. PPC is in the right arm on a Panther. Let's see here. Get critical hit that had no effect on the APC. Panther fell over, pilot blacked out. Apparently, I guess, try and punch the thing. Oh, they actually hit. I think I ran into this the last time as well. Because we were at 25% BV, or under 25% BV, but it doesn't appear as though we've won. Hold on one moment. All right, so I'm back. I checked. I did set it to 75% BV of the enemy. Must be destroyed to trigger a victory. Why it's not the case, I'm not exactly sure, but I'm going to play one more round and then see what happens, essentially. Try and destroy this Panther and maybe destroy just trying to think of a good place to put the locust here. If I can maybe destroy this wheeled hover APC, the Stinger, and then the Panther, maybe the game will just end, which would be ideal. Of course, you never know. If it doesn't end, I can just use a console command to declare victory, because we are at that point. I'm just not sure exactly why it hasn't declared my side the victor. So, fortunately, we lost one of the large pulse lasers, but we're just going to fire with everything we can, I guess, at that Panther. Again, we can see, the towers can see us, but we can't see the towers. Does it make a lot of sense? No. I don't understand why it can, or why they can see us, but it's whatever, I suppose. Fire a bunch of stuff at the Stinger, try to kill that. Hopefully a Black Knight doesn't die. That would be unfortunate. Mercury can't do anything. Shadowhawk is just going to fire at that wheeled APC. And if it can't, I mean, it can try and punch it. Yeah, I'm just going to go for broke here. Just fire a bunch of stuff there. Ernesto can fire over there. Of course. Or no, sorry. I thought this was hitting the Black Knight. Critical hit. Okay, Panther's destroyed. Bunch of CT hits on that Stinger. Stun the crew on the heavy APC. Stinger pilot blacks out. Okay, we won. Huzzah. That was a tougher battle than I thought it was going to be. So just to go over the situation here, we have 75% of our BV remaining. We have 1 unit with light damage, 2 with heavy damage, 2 that are crippled, 1 that is unfortunately destroyed, and an ejected crew that is, I'm going to rule as not killed. Wounded maybe, but not killed. The enemy, who did outnumber us and had more BV, only has 19% of their force remaining. BV-wise, they still have 30% of the units on the battlefield. And then, I guess, importantly, we left the base intact, which means we've captured it. Yeah, so let's see here. The Black Knight killed 3. Locust killed 1. Thunderbolt killed 1. Candace killed 2. Ernesto killed 1. And then this dude in his Stinger killed 1. So those foot platoons are destroyed. Stinger was destroyed by pilot error. Scout got killed by the Black Knight. The Maxim Hover transport got killed by the Black Knight. This first Spider here got killed by the Locust. LRM carrier got killed by one of the Crabs. Phoenix Hawk blew itself up due to pilot error. Wasp was destroyed by one of the Crabs. The Goblin was killed by one of the Crabs. The Rifleman fell over and died, apparently. Spider was destroyed by the Thunderbolt. Black Knight killed the Panther. Sentinel got killed by the Wasp, apparently, it credited to, but that mech was long dead. Or no, the Wasp killed the Sentinel killed the Wasp, sorry. Sentinel got destroyed by Shivers here in his Stinger 3G. Alright, so I will cut back to the normal campaign screen here one moment. Alright, so we're going to go through here. So, yeah, things are pretty bad. So, Black Knight has heavy damage. Thunderbolt, both Crabs are pretty healthy. The Shadowhawks has some heavy damage. The Mongoose is crippled. Mercury is crippled. And then the Locust has some light damage. And of course the Sentinel is apparently irreparable. Yeah, the center torso got blown out. So, that is unfortunate. I'm not sure if I'm going to rule that I can just repair it, because I like the Sentinel. It's not a very good mech, but I guess we'll see if anything jumps out at me to replace it. But the personnel, so well, you have a bunch of people wounded, but no one's dead actually, so that's good. So now we come to the salvage, which is the big thing here. Let's see here. So we didn't destroy the turrets. I am going to salvage that Stinger. That stuff didn't make it out. Okay, the APC was still mobile, so I'm not going to try and salvage that. I guess we'll take the infantry platoons just to like sell or whatever. Can I just sell them? I think I'm not even going to bother. I'm just going to sell the infantry platoons. This is not actually the men inside the platoons because of how it works. It's like a unit template, so no reason to just not sell it. We'll take the Stinger. We'll take the Scout. So we got a couple Stingers. Sell that other infantry platoon. Picked up some vehicles. Let's see here. Let's view this spider. Okay, it has like nothing left, but it does actually have some stuff that we need for the other spiders, so that's good. The Phoenix Hawk here, heavy damage, but might actually be, if I can get it repaired, it might actually be a really good replacement for the Sentinel. And then a bunch of, let's see if I can resize this here. Alright. So, and then the Wasp, irreparable, Goblin, irreparable, the Rifleman, unfortunately, is irreparable. Another ping on my phone, if you can hear that. Sorry about that. And then another Spider, irreparable. And the Panther was also irreparable. But it's all parts, and we need the parts. So, the salvage in this one has been a little bit different. Also, in the first one, I didn't lose any mechs. So, that's another thing. I actually was able to get the Rifleman last time. But now I'm replacing everything with a bunch of light mechs, which is actually really appropriate for the Succession Wars. Inner Sphere armies were actually a lot heavier at the start of the Succession Wars. However, as time went on, and there was losses to industry and also just units, most unit by the kind of tail end of the Third Succession War, actually most mech units were like over half of their composition was light mechs. You know, like Stingers and Wasps and Locusts and stuff like that. Assault mechs were very rare. Heavy mechs were kind of rare depending on where you are. It's not quite like this because this is the kind of start of the First Succession War, but it will get to that point, and I think that's just kind of an interesting thing where it's also kind of very Succession Wars where I'm very reliant on salvage to keep the unit going. The turrets here, actually, I'm going to take those because they're not going anywhere. You know, we would have just taken control of them, like the objective said, so let's do that. Let's see here. I'm not going to just capture all the infantry because I don't feel like dealing with like 20 million prisoners. I'm just kind of mostly curious. if we captured any of the mech warriors. Captured some pilots. A lot of the tank crew got killed, which is, I guess, not really that surprising. Oh, the Scout pilot died. Panther pilot, we'll capture the Panther pilot. And the Rifleman pilot. Basically any of these pilots that are wounded, I'll just mark them as captured. Alright, so I think next here. So I'm not going to do anything with the kills. I don't think. Yeah, I'm not going to assign anything that isn't, normally assigned. So next. So we preserved. We didn't do the force withdrawal. This mission is a little strange, I think. But we'll do that. This was a victory. I wouldn't call it decisive, but it was actually kind of decisive. We killed a lot of stuff. But we completed the mission. We salvaged a ton of units. We lost the Sentinel, unfortunately. Let's finish that. A bunch of people are getting Purple Hearts. We will issue the awards. Ernesto and Sophia involved in their first combat, so we will also do that. We got 600,000 C-bills. Oh, for stuff that was sold. Okay, yeah. So we got a bunch of prisoners. I'm looking here because Kurita can do something if you try and take them prisoner. It doesn't look like it doesn't look like they've done it this time, but you can actually have, I can't remember if it happened in one of the previous episodes, but you can actually have Kurita prisoners who will, instead of being captured, they will commit seppuku. So, just something to be aware of, I guess. The unit is not looking too hot. So, I'm gonna have to, of course there's a lot of stuff to salvage. A lot of stuff to salvage, a lot of stuff to repair. I think that was a pretty good battle. So, what is going to happen? So I'm going to try and, I'm going to leave the episode here. It's been going for a while now, a couple hours, I think. But I'm going to cut it here, and then I'm going to do the salvaging, the repairs, pilot management stuff, all of that. And then I'm going to try and find another mission or until some other big event happens, and then I will cut back in. And then after that, yeah, I'll just cut back in. What am I saying? I've been recording for too long. I'm losing my mind here. Yeah, so I'll try and sort through all the salvage, get hopefully a couple more mechs operational, because currently we're going to have more pilots than mechs, and additionally all the people that I've taken prisoner. Again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to trade them. Essentially, I'm going to, instead of ransoming them, I'm going to trade them back to Kurita, quote unquote, trade them back to Kurita, and then generate pilots for the unit. That essentially we're doing a prisoner exchange. But actually, we captured the orbital defense thing, so that's actually cool. So the battle for Killbourn is actually doing really well. Everything considered. Kurita is losing control of the planet. We've actually retaken what I presume to be some sort of SLDF orbital defense installation. But before I start rambling on, I hope everyone enjoyed watching my escapades in the Battletech universe. I hope you await the next episode, and I will see everyone next time.